guess the first game did have an NES version of the Overture theme song. Man, it's been that long since I played this, I don't even remember. But anyways, yeah, hello, and welcome to what I'm hoping will be another short few video playthrough series like Zelda 2 turned out to be. Should be, I mean, it's always been said by myself included that this game is like 75-80% grinding. So if you edit that out, what's left shouldn't take all that long. And I really wanted to do this before, since I'm nearly done with 4, before starting to upload Dragon Quest 9, do a quick run through of the game that started my interest in RPGs way back when it first came out in North America in August of '89. I rented my first copy of it in September of 1989, a few weeks to a full month after its initial release. And well, I'll talk about this as I get going. Probably gonna have to erase one. Oh, maybe not. Oh well. Now, I don't know about the Game Boy Color and even the more recent Switch remakes of the game, if this is still a thing or not. Never really paid attention, but I know in the NES original it is. There's even a program someone that works at, well, I don't know if you could call it works for, but someone at a Dragon Quest fan site, Dragon's Den, would us. I'll provide a link to it in the description of the video once I upload it. Came up with the program where you can type in the name of the character you want to use, and it'll project the stat growth and how it'll be affected by that name. Because yeah, for some reason that's a thing in this game, and it really is. I've noticed that myself. So kind of weird that they did that, but I guess maybe other there wasn't a whole, well, there was other RPGs before this, I guess, but JRPGs. I mean, this is often cited as like the grandfather of the JRPG. But anyways, so yeah, point being, the name you pick here does somehow affect your late game stat growth in certain aspects. Like some names you'll get more HP and MP, while some names you'll get more strength and agility, I think is how it works. Now, since you don't have any default name, I mean, he might in some of the fan fiction, but yeah. So I'll just use my name, but spell it, yeah. Because for some reason, it makes a difference between capital and lowercase letters too. Even though it's the same friggin' letter and the same friggin' name, you wouldn't think it'd matter, but. And plus, I did it that way as an nod to an '80s hard rock band called the Killer Dwarfs. And there I go again, referencing '80s rock bands in my videos. Oh well. Descendant of Erdrick. Or Loto, something like that. I've heard it was in the Japanese original. Personally, I think Erdrick sounds more RPG-esque, more medieval. Roto or Loto. I mean, Roto reminds me of Ocarina of Time. Of course, it was Rudo, not Roto, but still. And Loto reminds me of lottery, and yeah. So Erdrick just sounds better. May not be the original, may just be an Americanization of it, but still. I don't care, it sounds better. Ball of light. The Dragon Lord must be defeated. Sure. talk. Or no, not now. What am I doing? Talking to a treasure chest. Okay. 120 gold. Alright. And one back here. Princess Gwalen? Can't say that well, again, yes, I've played this game for over 30 years. Of course I know who he's talking about, but for the purpose of avoiding spoilers, duh. No, I don't know anything. Save the princess. Okay, I'm just getting started though. I mean, you're talking about saving the princess already. I mean, come on, this is an 80s game. Saving the princess is usually something that you had to beat the final boss to do, and it was part of the game's brief ending, like the first Zelda game, or even Zelda 2 for that matter. You know, thanks, Link, you're the hero of Hyrule. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'll do it, but you're in for a long wait, buddy. I've barely started. Yeah, I already found that key. Yeah, just like in Zelda games. Oh, unless you got the magic key, which they had in the first two Zelda games. But then again, never used again after Zelda 2. Starting with the Link to the Past, the magic key was gone forever. Forevermore, to this day. Never again to have a key that opens all locked doors and still in your inventory afterwards. Anyways, that's Zelda. This is Dragon Quest, obviously. Funny. Yep. Except for death, obviously, but... Now what am I doing? There's nothing there to take. Now, keeping in mind this was 1986 in Japan, 1989 in America, yeah, it's a little redundant that you actually have to tell the person to go down the steps. But, yeah, again, I always try to keep the time in which the game was made in mind when playing older games. I mean, yes, it's easier to complain looking back at all the modern conveniences and quality of life we have in games today. Easy to, take that for granted and then go back and play an older game that doesn't have that and be like, oh, come on. I mean, I find myself doing that in Dragon Warrior 4 a lot with the lack of inventory space. After playing all the more recent Dragon Quest games with the bag item or option, yeah. Anyways, very good idea to stop here and equip. I mean, they want you to save the world, but they don't give you anything for armor or weaponry, and very little in the way of gold. I mean, I don't even have enough for a copper sword here. Anyways, could get the bamboo pole, but I usually start off with the club. Now, because I've purchased the club, the second strongest weapon available at this point, I don't have enough for the leather armor. Not quite. So instead, I'll just get the clothes, basic armor. Is this okay? Yep. And that's it. For now. I'll be back here when I get more money, though. Now, in this game, in this version of the game at least, weapons and armor auto-equip. Of course, you don't want to get too used to that. In most RPGs, they don't. You buy them and you got to equip them afterwards. But yeah. This, in fact, out of all of the RPGs I've played, this one and Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, the entry-level RPG for beginners for the SNES in the early 90s, are the only two that do that I can think of anyways. I mean, all of the main series Final Fantasy games all of the Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior games except for this one. Yeah. You have to equip the stuff after you buy it, or buying it serves, having bought it serves no purpose. By the way, before I purchase this, I want to just for demonstration. Status, defense power 5. See where it says that there? Is my mouse cursor? Yeah, okay, my mouse cursor is showing on screen still. Dragon skill. Nope, that'll do. I don't even have enough for yeah, I don't even have enough for an herb now. Item. Yeah, 2 more points of defense. Of course, I want to test something I think works. Pretty sure it did. I'm pretty sure I used to do this myself back in the day, but no, that's it. Yeah, some glitch in the programming. You can sell the item, and even though it's no longer yours in your inventory, the stat upgrade is still there. I mean, I confess I used to do that a lot in the, back in the day, due to the lack of inventory space and whatnot. But let's not take advantage of glitches if at all avoidable. What? Why am I stuck in here? Oh, that's why. One of those NPC. I hate when they get in the way like that. Anyways, I suppose we could talk to people here. What quest? To rescue the princess or kill the Dragon Lord? Or both, since they're probably both connected. Since again, this is an 80s game. Yeah, there is a town where magic keys can be purchased, but I'm a long way away from it. Well, at least in terms of gameplay time, I'm a long way from it. In terms of distance, not quite so much so. Anyways, I suppose. Let's get started on the main part of the game, or so it would seem. Grinding. And as usual, slimes are amongst the first enemies you see in the game. Seems to always be the case. Except for here, they're red slimes, not she slimes as they are in the more recent games and modern remakes. I don't know when they made that switch from red slime to she slime, but that goes with Dragon Quest V, I think. Anyways, they still need 5 more points. Of course, once you've raised up a few levels to level 4 and got to Hurt, yeah, I know, Hurt. Sizz in the recent remakes, but, that's another subject for later. Down there, that bottom row there. Again, my mouse cursor, since I don't want to go down there myself yet, this bottom row here has like scorpions and Magi-Drakies or Drake Mages in the remakes. Slightly stronger enemies that once you get the Sizz Hurt More spell, you should be able to take out in a single spell. Get a lot more experience and gold. Granted, not as much in this version of the game as you would in the Switch remake, but still, more than you'd get up here with slimes. But again, I wouldn't recommend doing that yet. I'd wait until at least level 4 when you get the hurt spell. Which, you know, need 2 more experience points, well I do, to get to level 2, 7 points for level 2, 16 points for level 3, 27 points for level 4. Wait a minute, 3, 16, 23 rather. Or no, that's not. Dang, I thought I had this memorized. I used to have it all memorized. Seems my memory is failing me already. 7, 16, 23. No, that's not. 27? I know 7 is for the level 2 and 16 for level 3. Beyond that, my memory seems to be going kaput. And that battle music, well, kind of redundant. At least they improved upon it, if even only slightly, in the Switch version of the game, which is the one I usually play. Again, I never played the Game Boy Color remake. I don't even, not even sure if that was even released in North America. I don't remember ever seeing it. Of course, Game Boy Color, that whole era would have been around the time that I kind of gave up looking for new Dragon Quest games, since it had been so long since 5 and 6 weren't released here. It had been so long since we'd seen a new one. I just figured they stopped making them and stopped looking for updates. Of course, the internet was just starting to catch on in those days, and computers were still a little more expensive, so I didn't have one yet. Point being, I don't even think I heard about the Game Boy Color remake until people started talking about it online a few years later. But anyways, so yeah, now another 9. Oh wait a minute, no, that's why I'm goofing up on this. It's 7 and 23 for level 7, or level 3 rather. 23. And I think it's 47 for level 4. Oh shoot. And it's going to be 000 on life if I don't get to an end. He says as he goes the wrong way. Dang it, way to pay attention. By the way, this is how you do, you know, the low health beep without the beep. You know, you can tell, you know, blood red screen, text and everything. Games where it's saying, hey, you need to get to an end, dude. You're gonna die soon. You don't need the annoying beep of a Zelda game. Beep, 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 beep. Until you do something about it. And if you're in the middle of a dungeon and can't anytime soon, yeah, that beep is annoying. Weighs heavily on your sanity after a while. I mean, I love Zelda games, don't get me wrong, but damn, that low heart beep is annoying. It gets more and more and more annoying the longer it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, if they insisted on having an audio warning, keep it on there for only like 10 seconds. That's enough. But anyways, I've mentioned that in other videos. So yeah, grinding. If you're gonna play this game, you better get used to it. I mean, granted, the grind takes a little less time in the Switch version of the game, well, except for this part of it. Slimes and cheese/red slimes don't give you any more experience in either version of the game, or don't give you any more experience in the Switch version than they do here. So these first few levels are going to take as long regardless, but once you get to level 4 and get the hurt or sizz spell and do what I was suggesting earlier, that's where the level grinding picks up in the Switch version of the game. You get like, I think it was like 12 experience and 20 gold for a Magi Drakey, or Drake Mage, whatever they call them in Switch. Something like 16, I think it's 16 experience and 25 gold for a Scorpion. Whereas here it's not even barely half that. So yeah. Alright. Eight more for level 3. 7, 13, or 20. That overworld music may not be the best, but it definitely has a lot of nostalgia for me. Last few months of 1989 and the first half of 1990, playing through the game for the first time. Oh yeah. Or mini replays later, or mini replays years later, especially since I never really cared for the NES original Dragon Warrior 2. Didn't play that one more than twice. Yeah. I mean, I like Dragon Warrior 2 on the Switch as Dragon Quest 2, but the NES original, no, not really. Alright, come on. Where's all the random battles? Now, maybe in some of the newer games, or heck, even in some of the remakes of this game, hilly areas have higher encounter rates, or so goes the legend. But in this NES original version of this game, no, it doesn't seem to matter. Encounter rate doesn't seem to be any higher in hilly areas than it does anywhere else. Again, that might very well be a thing in recent games, or later remakes of this game, but for now, no. I mean, it might have been something they were thinking about, something they wanted to do, but did program in. I mean, like I've heard tell that they wanted to have a party of people you could control, like any other RPG. But for some reason, those plans fell through, and you didn't get a party until part 2. But for this game, as you can already tell, it's just you alone. Yeah. Fighting one enemy at a time. Of course. Well, this was the first RPG game I had played. I had played like Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2 both of which have playthroughs on my channel now. I had played through those games, so I wasn't too unaware of the concept of grinding for experience points to raise experience levels. I mean, I would call either Castlevania 2 or Zelda 2 RPGs, but I don't. That's why I said this was the first one. But they did have that RPG-esque element in them. Experience levels and experience points. Okay, yeah, 23. I had said 27 earlier while trying to remember that. It's 23, then 47. Yeah, I got a new spell. Don't tell you what it is, at least not in this version of the game. You actually have to either look at your spell list, yeah, or if it's like hurt, one of those spells that you can't use on the field that you can only use in battle, you'd have to look at your... Oh, it doesn't show it yet. Never mind. Or maybe it doesn't. I guess it doesn't do that in this game. Or maybe just in this game they're all in there regardless of what type of variety they are. Okay, cut me a little slack, my friends. I haven't played this version of the game in a long time. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, but that doesn't mean I play it all the time. Not since I have a Switch and that Switch version of this game. Like I was just saying earlier, usually when I play this game, it's that remake. This is the first time I've played the original here in, God, at least 6 or 7 years. Since before I bought my 3DS. Not that this game is on the 3DS, but used to play this game a lot back before then. Since I bought that and had a bunch of new games on it. Haven't had a whole lot of time to go back and play this game. That was in 2015, 2014. So yeah, 7, 8 years now since the last time I've played this. Okay, come on, game. Still need 22 more experience points, I think it is, before I can demonstrate what I was talking about earlier. But yeah, anyway, this game definitely earns its reputation of being 75% grind and 25% gameplay. But then again, it's because of games like this, my introduction to RPG followed about a year later by the first Final Fantasy game, followed later in 1990 by this sequel, this game's sequel, the 2 times I played it, but still, because of games like those 3 that are quite heavy on grinding, you know, I just got used to grinding. Like I've said in other videos, to me grinding was all part of the RPG gameplay experience. If you don't like grinding, don't play RPGs. Stick with Zelda and Metroid and Mario and Mega Man and Castlevania. Well, of course then they started messing with that part, like when they started making the Metroidvania games like Symphony of the Night and Aria of Sorrow, that grinding is kind of a part of the game, especially in Aria of Sorrow for the ability souls. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I know in more recent RPGs, you know, it's better paced in that regard. As long as you fight all of the random battles that are, you know, given, so to speak, as they occur. You shouldn't have to take too much time out to grind. I mean, there's still going to be a little grinding there, but nowhere near as much as in this game, that's for sure. But again, because I played this game so many times, I don't mind grinding. And when it does start to get tedious, I just move on with the story. Come back to grind more later. Or just put the game down for a while and go do something else. I mean, point I was trying to make there, like I've said before in other videos, if I felt as lowly of grinding as a lot of gamers do today, I would have never got into RPGs in the first place. Holy crap, I mean, this game? Hello? Yeah. I would have started playing this game and like, oh good god, this is boring. Put it down faster than I picked. Oh, you silly expression there, but yeah. Of course, another argument I've heard about this game is its lack of story. And yes, that's true. In in comparison to games to today that have a lot of story involved. This, typical video game, typical 80s video game. Bad guy taking over the world. You're the chosen hero. Go stop him, hero boy. Do your job. Very basic story. But that's another, like grinding in RPGs, I guess it's another sign of the time. Back then, video games didn't have a whole lot of story. No video game did back then. Back in 1986 in Japan or 1989 here in America, when this game came out, what's story in a video game? If you want story, watch a movie or read a book. Video games are about the gameplay, not about story. What little story there was in the instruction manual or at the start of the game, like Zelda 2. And I already mentioned this in my Zelda 2 video, first video for my Zelda 2 playthrough as well, so kind of repeating myself now if you've seen that one already, but yeah. To hate on this game for its lack of story is, your right to your opinion, but I think you're kind of missing the point. No 80s game was real heavy in the story, and I don't think any 80s gamer would have liked it any other way. Back then, before games like Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII, Dragon Quest 6 or 5. Of course, 8 didn't come out in America. 5 didn't come out in America, so neither did 6. At least not until the DS remake, decades later, or years later. Maybe not decades, but again, just different time for gaming. When this came out in 1986, video games were still in that transition between short and simple games that could be played over just a few minutes while standing in front of an arcade cabinet, to adventure games like this that wouldn't have worked in an arcade. This, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, action adventure games that again probably wouldn't have worked in an arcade. Too long. Nobody would have had the patience to stand there in front of an arcade machine that long. You look back at NES titles, a lot of the original NES titles for years to come were arcade ports. Some poorly done, but still arcade classic ports, like Pac-Man. Well, actually, Pac-Man wasn't even, it was on Nintendo, but it wasn't made by Nintendo. Well, either was it, hopefully know what I mean with that. Not that Nintendo made the ports in the first place. Well, Donkey Kong they did, I guess, yeah. Anyway. yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, this game doesn't have much for story, but neither did any game back then. And I can't speak for every gamer of the late '80s, but as for myself and all the friends I knew back then, that's the way we liked it. Again, games were about the gameplay, not about the story. We wanted story. Well, there was a theater not far from home. Go take a walk and watch a movie. And to some extent, as unpopular as the opinion is, I still hold true to that to an extent. I mean, I like a good story in games, don't get me wrong, but some games can be too story driven. I don't even remember the name of the game anymore, but there was one I played. Oh, yeah, it was Metal Gear 4. That's the one. I mean, I love Metal Gear games, don't get me wrong, but damn, that game seemed to be more story than gameplay. I mean, again with emphasis, I love Metal Gear games, don't get me wrong, but games can have too much story, in my opinion. And again, that could just be, the '80s gamer, or like I was just talking about, from an era where there wasn't hardly any. Kind of getting used to that notion. Okay, 2 more points should get me to level 4. Learned a new spell. Yeah, okay, it's all just listed there. No, yeah, because there's only like 10 spells through the entire game anyway, so. I mean, in the more recent games, to see, like, Hurt spell wouldn't show up on there. It would only be the field spells, the healing spells, and repel and stuff like that that would show up on the spell list for any kind of attack spell. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but any kind of attack spell, you would have had to go to the status menu and eventually show the list of spells you would learn. Like in Dragon Quest IV or Dragon Warrior 4, the NES original that I've been playing through. Anyways, stay at the end. I mean, yes, there is the gimmick that a lot of people do that I've seen play this game. Once you get to level 3 and have MP to work with in the first place. Back in Tentacle, however this is pronounced, the name of this place is pronounced. Talk to him, he replenishes your MP back to maximum, and then from there use your new heal spell at level 3 to heal yourself back up. And then talk to him again to replenish your MP. Yeah. That works, true, but I always find that mildly ironic and slightly comedic, with all due respect to anybody who does that. Kind of bizarre, because not more than 10 steps away from the castle, not even 10, is an inn. It only charges $6. I mean, again, with all due respect, what are you going to do with that $6 you just saved? What in the game are you going to buy with $6? Absolutely nothing. So just, yeah. I mean, to each their own. Play your game your way and all, but it just seems kind of silly to me, is all I'm saying. So you save $6. I mean, yeah. Anyways, moving on. No, not you. Well, you're stronger than the enemies I've been fighting so far, but you're not the one I had in mind. Oh, dodge that. Really? A ghost? Oh, please. Okay, here we go. Hurt. Okay, it doesn't do as much damage either. I mean, in the Switch version of the game, that would have been more devastating. What did they? Along with changing its name, give it more attack power too? Make it stronger, more effective? Yeah. 5 experience. If I recall correctly, it was 12 experience points, 7 more than it is here, and double the amount of gold, so yeah. Grinding in the Switch version of the game goes a lot faster. Which is why I keep telling people that haven't played the game before nowadays, if you don't like grinding, I'd recommend the Switch port. Only play the NES original if, like me, you have some nostalgia for it. Or if you're just curious to see the series' true origins. But for just a casual playthrough, yeah. Putting nostalgia and personal opinions aside, I can't honestly recommend this game to any new fan. Not this version of it anyways. Oh, he has that too, huh? Mine does more damage. Okay, never mind, that came out bad, but... Yeah, almost out of MP there. Alright, well, I did get a few more experience points down there than I would have. Also died a lot, or came close to dying a lot quicker. Of course, that's because I haven't upgraded my gear either. So, yeah, I have enough to at least get a shield. Wait a minute, what's... Status. 9 for defense power. Wow. More defense than attack, that's unusual. At least for me, anyways. Anyways, that's, the first few levels. Now with your new Hurt or Sizz spell, you can maybe start venturing north of here too, fighting enemies up there. Pretty much the same enemies. Of course, one thing, well, there's no way I can show a screen capped image of the world map here, but save my game, because I'm bound to get into a battle that I don't want doing this, but just for demonstration. Yes. Unlike a lot of RPGs or video games in general, this one, well, I wouldn't say it, well, it is kind of open world, I guess, but definitely for exploration. You can wander into areas with much stronger enemies than you're ready for. I mean, unlike the first Final Fantasy game, which came out about a year later in either Japan or North America, where the enemy borders are pretty well, enemy domains are pretty well boarded off by either water barriers or mountain barriers. Not so easily breached until the time in the gameplay where it's time to go to that area anyways. Not going to be the case in this game. Oh, come on, really? Where were all these battles when I wanted them? Again, where were all these battles when I wanted them a minute ago? Damn you, game. Yeah. Too far south from here, you'll end up with enemies much stronger than you are. So that's something to be at least a little bit aware of. That's a possibility in this game. The only area that's at this point completely bordered off and impossible to get to is that castle in sight from the starting point. Anything else you can walk to. If it's a place you can walk to, you can at least try to get there, despite how tough the enemies in that area might be. Kind of like that, because it opens up possibility of fighting stronger enemies earlier to make grinding faster. But at the same time, if you're not ready for that, hey, what's over here? Oh shoot. A wyvern. Should I be fighting this thing yet? Yeah. Oh, great, I'm dead. Yeah. Kind of like getting a ship in a more recent Dragon Quest game and exploring the world and going into areas before you should be. Anyways, pause the video for a bit while I do some more grinding. I will be back. Alright, hello. Well, after several hours of grinding, but on a different playthrough file. Yeah. When I had more time, playthrough from, well, about a year ago or two. Like I said, I haven't played this original version in quite a while, but back when I had a lot more time on my hands, let's just put it that way. Was able to spend hours on end grinding. Today, don't have that kind of time, so yeah. Of course, I didn't do all that grinding around here. I mean, geez, that many experience points fighting slimes? I don't think so. Once I got up to level 4 or 5, started grinding around here, fighting magicians and other enemies. Till I got up to like level 6 or 7. By then I had enough money to get some better weapons and armor. Like the hand axe or the chain mail. Keep the random battles away for now. Down here. You start to run into enemies like skeletons. Of course, early on you don't want to go too far south here, or you'll get enemies much stronger than skeletons. Of course, early on those guys, actually I think I showed that earlier in this video, they can be, but they're, since they have the hurt spell too, they can be a little annoying early on, but alright, again, keep the weaker enemies away for now. Sorry if, the fact that I didn't show a lot of the grinding is an annoyance if you actually wanted to see that, but that much grinding I didn't think anybody would want to watch. And around level 7 or 8, you maybe start fighting enemies over here as well. Scorpions, magicians, skeletons. Of course, there is an item hidden in this town, but you can save up enough money to buy the half plate or the full plate for armor. And then I would say, I mean, it's different for each gamer. Everybody has their own ideas of what levels they want to be at, and that's good. But if you don't want too tedious, annoying time, I would say around level 9 or 10. Head south of here. Of course, poison marshes, 2 hit points per step, so not too incredibly bad, but at earlier levels with less hit points, yeah, could be worse. There's definitely something in this cave, but I'll do that in a little while. Right now, kind of a grinding recap. Stuff I did off screen the day I made this file. And yeah, that's how many times I played this game back in the day. And to this day I still have the path through this cave memorized. Warlocks, whatever they're called in the remakes, can use the sleep spell. which can be annoying, especially if it works to the point where they put you to sleep and you don't wake up until they kill you. But at level 10, you get the stop spell or the fizzle spell, and at least I think it's the fizzle. Like, yeah. But against some enemies, it don't work. So, like the sleep spell. And again, where were all these random battles when I wanted them? The day I made this file, it's one of the reasons it took so long. Random battles weren't happening this quickly. Those guys could definitely be annoying at earlier levels. Those skeletons. They can do a lot of damage. They have like 28 hit points. See what I mean? About the sleep spell. Oh, come on, game. Quit cheating this. This town. It's where I got all the gear I'm currently equipped with. Well, except for the large shield I bought back in Cole, town in the northwest corner of the world map for 800 bucks, but the broadsword for 1500, and full plate armor for 3000. Was gonna get the magic armor for 7700, but as far as defense points goes, it's not any better at all than the full plate. Exactly the same defense. The only difference is that with the magic armor, you can recover a hit point per 4 steps you take walking around. I guess that kind of makes it worth it, but with the way random battles can happen so frequently, 4 steps to recover 1 point doesn't add up to a whole lot before you're into the next battle and in areas with stronger enemies. I mean, it can be useful, I guess, but I don't know if it's worth an extra 3,700 bucks. The grinding it'd take to get that kind of money. But again, you know, to each their own. Now, one thing I'm going to point out while I'm here. This probably would have taken me longer to figure out had it not been for the paved part of the road that extends out past the border of town. Or that he's standing here. Usually, once you leave town, you're back on the world map, but in this town, there's the exception because of this. Magic keys. You will need at least a few of these. I already bought a few, but yeah. Alright. So much for grinding recaps. Now, again, while this game is like 75-80% grind, there is some story and gameplay. I mean, you couldn't just have a game that's nothing but grinding. No one would want to play it even back then. So, let's talk to people. That's back then when there was no internet guides and stuff. You know, that's how you figured out where you're going. And even today, if you don't want to use guides, oh yeah? This Dragon Lord sounds like a creep. Yeah, we'll see one of those towns later on. I mean, granted, at the levels I'm at with the equipment I have now, I could probably do that now. But, yeah. I wouldn't know. Well, I do, but I'm not saying quite yet. Breckenary. Well, there's nothing wrong with that town even now, except for now in the remakes, just an extension of Tantagel, I think. They kind of discarded the name Breckenary for this town here. Talked to some of the people here already. Yeah, Garenham, that's the name of the town where I bought the large shield for 800. There is an item there that you'll want to get, but you'll need magic keys from the town of Remaldar first, at least 2 of them. Yeah, I already mentioned that. 2 hit points per step. Alright. Some items will be cursed. When you put them on, you get cursed, and if that happens, come back here and talk to this guy. He'll remove the curse for you. Of course, in later games... Yes, I am, but no, I don't have any proof, I guess. Anyways, one subject at a time. In later games, people like this guy here would also remove poisons or revive dead party members. But in this game, there is no poison status ailment, and you only don't have any extra party members, so those options don't apply here. Alright, get back here. I want to talk to you. Oh yeah, I already talked to you before I started the grind. Oh duh, you wouldn't be here if you were. Oh, I hate when NPCs get in the way. Come on. Move, dude. I want to go in here and buy some herbs. Extra healing, just in case. Never hurts to have a few of these on stock, on hand. Of course, in later games, they're medical herbs or medicinal herbs, but yeah, that's one thing that's always bugged me about this game, and I think it still stands even in the Switch remake. Can't have more than 6 herbs or keys. Why not? Since they're they're their own item in the inventory. I mean, if it's going to max out at double digits, it can at least go to 9. Oh well. Anyways, I was looking for the person that, I mean, I guess they kind of hinted at Garenham. Yeah. Trying to find the person that gives you the hint of where to go next, but I guess Garenham's chronologically would be that next destination. Except for, again, without magic keys from Remaldar, you wouldn't be able to do anything other than buy upgrade gear. Why, all he does is tell you how many points you need for the next level. Since Dragon Quest games never did that until the 3DS remake of Part 8 in 2016, 2017, or Part 11, the newest game. I mean, as I found out, Dragon Quest 9 does have the divination ability for one of the class vocations, where you can check how many experience points you need while still on the world map grinding or whatnot in dungeons. But for the most part, no, Dragon Quest games never have had that in the status, which I've mentioned before. Has always bugged me. An RPG, they tell you how many points you need and how many points you have, but they, for some reason, never tell you how many. Yeah, I've made that point abundantly clear already, so no need to dwell on that anymore. Okay. Again, I thought there was somebody that said something else about the town of Remaldar and magic keys. Because again, you can't do anything in Garenham, the town he's mentioning here. You can't really do anything there until you have magic keys. I don't know, maybe it's there that they tell you. Anyways. Now, as for the town of Garenham and the story objective there, I personally would say wait until you have the outside spell or evac in recent games. I mean, you get healed at level 3 as you saw earlier in this video, hurt at level 4 again like you saw earlier in this video. You get sleep at level 7, radiant at level 9, stop spell at 10, outside at 12, return you get at level 13, and repel at level 15. So yeah, I would recommend at least level 12 just for the outside evac spell. Otherwise, you're going to be walking your way back once you get what you came for, which, you know, could be a problem. If you spend all your HP, you know, spend all your MP on healing and whatnot by the time you get down there to get the item you're there for, could be in trouble on the way back out. So having the outside / evac spell is never necessarily a requirement. It'll definitely make things easier getting back out with what you came in there for. Need a magic key for that door. Now, one of these people in here see Hosness. Well, we'll find out sooner or later. The town is still there. What's become of it? Yeah, that was part of gaming back then, since games didn't have in-game maps. At least not until like the Super Nintendo era of the early mid 90s. $12 golds. Oh gee, thanks. By this point in the game, what good are you going to do with 12? Granted, you know, given that you had to have a magic key to even get in here, meaning you had to be able to survive to get to the town of Remaldar. So yeah, by that point in the game, what good is $12 going to do? And a torch. By the time you get the magic keys to get here, you probably have the radiant spell at experience level 9. So why do you need torches for? Oh, that is a feature in this original. Okay. I was always thinking that was something they added to the remakes to make grinding a little more convenient, per se. Never really thought to use that for that in this game. Or in this version of the game, I should say. Yeah. Now, torches. You can buy them. That's good. But once you get to level 9 and get the Radiant spell, even better. Granted, the only drawback of the Radiant spell is that it dims after a while and you're back to the torchlight. Yeah. Anyways, Poltergeist, they're here. I mean, need to go this way. All the other ways just loop around or dead ends entirely. And this is where you start seeing some of the stronger enemies, which is another reason I would recommend against going through here too early. The further you go, the tougher the enemies could potentially get. Alright, now, ignore all these other stairways, they're just looping dead ends, pointless. to the best of my memory, there's no treasures or anything down those paths. Or if there is, I've long since forgotten. Since memorizing the path through here, I just go the way you have to get the item you're here for, and that's all I bother with. So. Now from here, the path is rather linear. Now, see what I mean about stronger enemies? And why coming here too lowly leveled might not be a good idea? I mean, to each your own if you like that kind of challenge, but again, like I've said a multitude of times, I prefer to make the random battles easier by being what some people would say is over leveled. Frick, just watch my Final Fantasy 1 playthrough when I get around to uploading it. Of course, I played the Game Boy Advance version of the game, but yeah, definitely over leveled in that game, which again I like. With how many random battles you fight in an RPG, why make each and every one of them more tedious than they need to be, knowing that there's going to be another one 5-10 seconds later on average? Make that one tedious. Yeah, you get the idea. I mean, again, for the gajillionth time, if that's your idea of how to have fun playing a video game, more power to you. Just not me. I mean, yeah, the whole over-leveled argument does have its merits when it comes to boss battles. I would like boss battles to be a little more complicated, a little more challenging. And a lot of times, especially in these older games, when you get over-leveled, even boss battles are easy. So yeah, that can be a drawback, I suppose. But anyway, there's the item we're here for. The Silver Harp, or the Isle, whatever they call it in the Switch version of the game. And now, like I said, if you came here before having the outside evac spell, well, you're going to have to walk your way back out, retracing your steps in reverse. Hopefully you still have enough HP and MP left for the battles ahead, making your way back out. Alright, now, to test this, again, I kid you not, I didn't even realize you could do that. I mean, I knew you could in the Switch remake, but again, I was thinking that was just that, one of the so-called qualities of life, quote-unquote, upgrades that they added to the remake. Huh, okay. No kidding, man. I never thought to do that in this version, in this game, until the Switch remake. Man, makes me kind of feel dumb all the years I've been playing this game since 1989. Never even thought to try that. Oh well. Actually, no, the return spell in this game, even in the Switch version of the game, unfortunately, only takes you to Tantagel Castle, the starting point. Unlike return zoom spells in later games that take you to almost any town you've been to throughout the game. I mean, heck, even in Dragon Warrior 2, the NES original, it only took you to whatever town you saved your game at last. I mean, granted, they fixed that in the Switch version of Part 2, making it work like it will in every game since 3. But anyways, another item of importance to plot progression is found here. I don't remember who it is that tells you, and I don't feel like going around talking to everybody right now, but now, there is a rare glitch that can happen here, where you could select take, but for some glitch reason, the chest doesn't disappear, so you can infinitely get the money out of that chest over and over and over again. I don't know what triggers that in my experience, so it's really rare. It's only happened like maybe 3 times since 1989, all the times. Now, there is a guy that sells magic keys here. Granted, he sells them for 85 as opposed to 53 back in Remoldar. And you need a magic key to even get in here to, yeah. But, you know, you can restock up. Because you will need a key for what I'll be doing. At least, yeah, one key for what I'll be doing next, or trying to do next after I'm done here. Now again, keeping the town of Remoldar in mind and how you were able to walk on what should have been the exit to town, transporting you back to the world map. Yeah. Of course, you don't want to go any further right, or that will happen. You will be back outside, and you will have to use more keys to get back here. But down here, again, I forget who tells you all this stuff. It's been years since I've had to worry about it. Sure, of course, enough space you could just walk through and take it, whether he says you can't or not. Regardless of what he says. Yeah. Another one of the plot items. Alright. Repel spell. No need to fight the slimes and whatnot around here any further. Now, since I'm going in that general direction, once you get the silver harp, or the isle, or whatever it is they call it in the Switch version, I forget. Whenever I'm playing that version of the game, I always discard that name and refer to it as the silver harp out of nostalgia anyways. That's why I don't remember it now. But once you get that, luckily the repel spell only costs 2 points to use, but there's a guy up here that'll do an item exchange basically for another item you're going to need. Of course, if you want it for its grinding purpose of triggering random battles, then you probably wouldn't want to do this just yet, but yeah. Staff of Rain. The Staff of Rain and the Stones of Sunlight are combined into another item you'll need. But I can't do that yet. Now, as long as I'm in this area, I said that before already, didn't I? I would suggest waiting until at least level 10 or 11 at least. I mean, again, it can't be done at earlier levels. Gamers these days amaze me at how early they can do things like that. You know, how under-leveled or how lowly leveled they can beat bosses, and it's like, how do you do that? Actually, hold on, I better not try this yet. As I hinted at the first time I walked through here on the way to Remoldar, there is something in this cave besides just the underground passage to the Remoldar area. The continent to the south, or southern part of this continent, whatever. But before I do that, I better heal up a bit. Could just use my heal spell, but Oh yeah, that's a, oh no, that's not in that town, no. Back here, people talk about this Princess Gwalen. Who was it that first mentioned it? Half a year now has passed. Yep. Gonna go do that right now. But again, it's not just as easy as, just finding her and hey, I rescued her. There's a very strong enemy standing guard, beating that boss enemy. Can be done, obviously, but again, I would say at least level 12 or 13. At least that's what the levels I'm always at by the time I even start to consider doing this. But that's just me again. Gamers these days, speed runners and all that. I mean, I'm not trying to be insultive here. Trust me, if you can, if you can fight the boss coming up when I get there at lower levels, I congratulate you. You're obviously better at the game than I am. No kidding. Then again, I've never really tried to, do low-level challenges and whatnot. That's just not my style. So, but that's just it. It basically boils down to personal gaming preferences. Anyways, Radiant. Whoa, okay. One step south or down from here triggers a fixed encounter with the boss enemy I was talking about. And why it's not just as easy as finding the princess. Alright, let's do this. Ow. Ooh, just barely. That didn't finish him off. I'd have been the one dying now instead of him. Yeah. I mean, you could try putting him to sleep, but in my experience, that very seldomly works. So one of the reasons I lost interest in sleep spells in the first place. That and the fact that, like I've said in other videos, it just, I don't know, I'm overthinking it, I guess, but it just seemed something to be said for cowardice. I mean, no offense to anybody who likes sleep spells, just me personally, it made me feel like a coward, putting an enemy to sleep and then kicking it while it was already down. Anyways, need a magic key. Granted, once you beat that green dragon, it's gone for the rest of the playthrough, so it's not like if you got here just barely, as I did, just barely beating that green dragon, got here and didn't have a key and had to go back for one. It's not like he's going to be back there again. That would kind of stink, but... Okay. No! Walk yourself. No, just kidding. Oh shoot, that's right. I was gonna make a save file doing this without playing this game without rescuing her. See if, since spoiler alert, this has very strong storyline connections to later games. This event here. Oh, you don't even notice? Really? Well, she does. You think these people would notice this? I mean, hello? Not exactly by myself here. Oh well. That's all he says. Okay. No problem. You're welcome. I hardly know you. LOL. Sure, why not? Definitely. Now, I don't know if... Okay, it is on the inventory already. That is how in this game you tell how many experience points you need for the next level. And it also has another implication in regards to another key item that you'll need to get to the final dungeon. Which, by the way, is just over there in the bottom right corner of the screen. Within sight, but still not reachable. Okay. Alright. Alright. I'm back. Did the rest of the grinding I'll be doing for the playthrough. Got up to level 24 and 27,000 bucks, which I'll be spending the bulk of in a few minutes. No. And yes, after all that grinding, I need states, blah 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 blah. Just in case, I mean, it's not likely to happen, but I mean, I will be going into later areas of the game, and of course, at level 24 again, shouldn't be an issue either way. Now, before going to the next region of the game, back in the village of Call, K-O-L, Call, however you pronounce that. One of the few towns that still has the same name even in the Switch version of the game. Someone somewhere, I forget exactly who it was and where they are, but someone tells you to search 4 steps south of the fountain. For a useful, perhaps, but not necessarily a required item. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I forget who it is that tells you that. By the way, yeah, the heal more spell at level 17 is virtually a requirement. It's the final boss of the game. Even if you can make it to him without the heal more spell, he does far more damage in a single attack than the common heal spell can even heal, so you'd be fighting a losing battle. And without some kind of exploit or cheat, I don't think it's possible to beat the game without the heal more spell at level 17. The hurt more at level 19 is optional, but At least as far as I know, you definitely need the Heal More spell to have any legit chance at defeating the Dragon Lord. Now, to the southeastern portions of the world map, and some of the stronger enemies of the world, I would suggest at least level 13 or 14 before you think of coming down here, but that's just me. That could just be my tendency of being over leveled speaking again. Actually, nah, never mind. Of course, you can see these guys in the area south of Rimalder, the village where he bought the small keys from initially. And, well, early on, they like to use, when you don't kill them in one attack, they like to use the stop spell a lot, which to me was always comedic because I have no intentions of using spells on them, and they're trying to stop me from doing so. Fail, try again, fail, and all the while I'm thinking, okay, dude, why are you routinely using stop spell? I haven't even cast a spell on you yet. Anyways, Wraith Knights saw those in the Garenham Grave earlier. They should be easy enough. This town. Hold that thought. Yeah, this guy has very high agility. Even at high levels can still be annoying. Really, game? Where were all these random battles when I was grinding just now? The town of Huskness, someone mentioned earlier. What's become of it? Well, this. In one of the other games, I won't say which for spoiler reasons, but this town is still, well, it's still standing, kind of, but there's actually still buildings and people here when you make it here late in the game. Again, I won't specify exactly which game that is for spoiler reasons, but yeah. Now, there used to be a weapon shop, as is evident in that game I was just talking about if you've played it. Someone somewhere says something about the person that used to run that armor shop hiding something under a tree behind his shop. So that being your clue to look here. But it's not just as simple as that. There's a very strong enemy here that you have to defeat to get access to that. And again, that's where I personally would recommend at least level 13, if not higher. But that's just me. Of course, early on you want to watch out for its sleep spell capability potential. When you're not going to be able to kill him in 2 hits. Again, I know this hasn't exactly been the most thrilling playthrough in terms of strategy. Oh well. I'm sorry, I like being over leveled in my RPGs. Anyways, don't forget to search the ground to find Erdrick's armor, the strongest armor in the game. And, well, the magic armor for sale in Ramaldar for 7,700 bucks heals 1 hit point per every 4 steps. This one does, 1 point per step, so it's 4 times better. Plus, it's immunity to these barriers, these swamps, and the barriers you'll see elsewhere. So yeah, the best armor in the game by far. Now, in this area roundabouts is where you can see one of the game's most popular, or one of the franchise's rather, most popular enemies. The Metal Slime. Granted, there were no metal battles at this point in the series. That didn't start until like part 2, I think. For 3, sure. 3 for sure. Maybe in the NES original of part 2. I can't remember. It's been ages since I played the NES original of part 2. And it's going to be just as long before I play it again. If I have anything to say about it. I mean, if you like the NES original of part 2, more power to you, my friends. I mean, I suppose I probably should try it again just for the heck of it, but yeah, I just don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, metal slimes can be seen right around here. There we go. Speaking of whom. But as always, they're extremely agile, hard to hit, without some kind of magic spell or ability found later. Or elsewhere, yeah. Of course, in the NES original here, it's only like 100, 110 experience points, which is good, more than any other enemy in the game. But in the Switch version of the game, it's like 775. I mean, they really increase the amount of experience you get from the Metal Slime in the Switch version. And yes, I did defeat a few of those while grinding. Magi Wyvern, that's better. I mean, I know I've mentioned this in many other videos and Twitch chat rooms before, but it annoys me. I don't know why, but it just frickin' annoys the heck out of me that they rename these enemies Chimeras in all of the recent games and remakes. This one being the Cosmic Chimera. This does not look like a Chimera. Play the NES original of the first Final Fantasy, or even the Game Boy Advance version that I'll be playing when I get around to that game, of the first Final Fantasy game. That's a Chimera. This is not. Anyways, yeah, I've made my point on that enough times. Just suffice to say, one of the few name changes in RPG remake history that I truly detest. Emphatically, strongly detest, resent, hate, despise. That is not a Chimera. Sorry, whoever came up with that idea. Anyway, enough said on that. Moving on. Yeah, their sleep spell can be frustrating, especially if they sleep lock you. You know, put you to sleep and then you don't wake up until you're dead, which of course you never wake up from that. The last of the wolves. You had the wolf, the light blue-colored wolves around Ramaldar. The Wolf Lords, which I showed just a couple of minutes ago, and this one. I mean, again, granted, I'm probably not going to get to show every enemy in the game, and I apologize for the lack of strategy here, just overgrind and go. Very lacking in the strategic department. If that's, your thing, then I guess this video is going to be about as amusing to you as insert your own analogy there, but yeah, snooze fest. Oh, this is the Cosmic Chimera. Yeah, I'm not getting into that again yet. The other was the Hocus Chimera, rather. Magi Wyvern. Of course, the Star Wyverns here are Cosmic Chimeras. Can use the Heal More spell on themselves a lot. Can be very frustrating, especially at lower levels where you can't defeat them as quickly. Yeah, see? Heal More or Mid-Heal or whatever. Remakes in recent games. Really, dude? Okay, fine. I'll fix you. Stop spell or fizzle. There, let's see you do that again, Buster. Haha. Now, heal up. There's one step one step down or south triggers a mini boss battle with an enemy that suggested to use the fairy flute on, which is why, it's a good idea if you're going to do that to go back to the village of Call like I did, after resuming recording after grinding 4 steps south of the fountain there, get that, use it to put this enemy to sleep. And again, with all due respect to my fellow gamers out there, if that works for you, to each your own, to each their own. But me personally, I hate sleep spells, so if I can't beat an enemy while it's wide awake and fully intent on kicking my rear, I don't deserve to win that battle as far as I'm concerned. I deserve, if I have to resort to sleep spells and items that induce sleep spells, if I have to resort to that crap, I deserve to see the game over screen. I'm sorry. That's the way I look at it. Insult me in the comments if you will, but if you think it's going to change my mind on the issue, you're sadly mistaken. I hate sleep spells. They hardly ever work in my experience, and again, like I said, I always just end up feeling like a cringy coward, putting an enemy to sleep and kicking it while it's down. I'd rather just defeat the enemy normally. Anyways, whatever works for you, again, it's all just RP, it's all just video game preferences. Play your game your way. If you like sleep spells, knock yourself out, figuratively speaking. Seriously, I just do not. Anyways, enough said on that. Now, you will need some keys. Hopefully you have some, otherwise you just made your trip out here for nothing. Probably should have mentioned that, by the way. Sorry about that, I forgot all about it. But yeah. Here we have the best sword, well, at least the best sword that you can buy. There is one better, but you can only find it in the final dungeon of the game if you slightly go out of your way from the path you take to get to the final boss. And the silver shield, the strongest shield in the game. Alright, that does it for weapon and armor upgrades, at least until I get to that strongest sword. And I don't, actually, yeah, I think you will. No, can't remember. No, you don't. I don't think you need any more keys, but yeah. I like to keep a few on hand just in case. Now, this guy here. If you do not have Erdrick's armor yet, this trip can be very deadly, 15 hit points per step. But if you have it, if you have Erdrick's armor, you're immune to it. "70 leagues south and 40 to the east." Hint on how to find another item you're going to need to complete the game. Of course, since the location never changes, if, like me, you've played this game so many times you have it memorized, you don't need that hint, obviously, but this is also another way that Gwaelin's Love is kind of useful. Not only does it tell you how many experience points you need for the next level up, but yeah, 70-40 is the location. Dang it, what's the word for that? I'm thinking latitude, longitude. God, what's the word for that? Location. Cross this bridge. And again, 2 steps, or 2 hit points of damage per step if you don't have Erdrick's armor. Anyways, right to where I'm now standing. And again, you don't need this item if you know it's there, or know where it is. Search the ground, or not, search the ground to find Erdrick's token, or amulet, or whatever it is they call it in the remake. Which, combined with the Staff of Rain and the Stones of Sunlight we found earlier in this video, you get the last, well, you gotta take it to the right person, but he gives you the last key item you need to make it to the final dungeon. And right about now comes the point where having the return spell work like it will in most of the game's sense would be very convenient, because rather than return to Tantagel Castle and walk my way all the way over there, return to Remaldar since I've already been there and walk a little further south, much quicker trip, but sadly, yeah, that wasn't, at least in terms of original release chronology, wasn't until Dragon Quest Dragon Warrior 3 that the return spell did that. Or if you're talking remakes, the Switch version of Part 2. So from here we go back to Remaldar. And then further south from it, or south of it. Again, played this game so many times that I have this path memorized. Like I said already, I know. Actually, no, I want to show some of these enemies. I never did do that. Granted, I'm going to plow right through them, so showing them is exactly this. It's going to be a very one-sided battle now. But yeah, they ain't much different than the standard Scorpion we could have saw earlier. A little more hit points and maybe do a little more damage, but that all depends on what level you're at by the time you make your way down here. What equipment you have. Beware Wolf in the remake. Goldman. Okay. Yeah, these guys can be very annoying early on. They do a lot of damage and take like 5 hits to kill. Again, depending on what level you're at when you come down, make it down here. What equipment you have, always variables and that kind of, they do a lot of damage conversations. Levels and equipment affect that, obviously. Yeah, see what I mean? Spell will not work. But I bet you, if I didn't finish him off there, his next move would have been to try to cast Stop Spell again. Yeah. Anyway, the standard issue Wyvern. We've already seen the Magi Wyvern and the Star Wyvern. Yeah, this one, unlike its two more advanced sprite lookalikes, doesn't have any magic spells. I mean, the Magi Wyvern can cast Sleep. The Star Wyvern, as you saw, can cast Heal more on itself. This one, neither. Just base vanilla enemy. Can be real devastating early on again, but like any of these enemies in this area, you don't want to try fighting them too soon. Or it could be very easily you that's dying, or your character, not the enemy. Game over. You lose. Anyways, once you have the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token, all three items, come down here and talk to this guy. And he gives you the Rainbow Drop. For a second there, I thought it didn't work. I was going to say, well, wait a minute. But yeah, it's there. Now, we can create a path to the final castle dungeon of the game. Yeah, again, there really isn't a lot of content to this game outside of the immense amount of grinding for either experience or money. I don't pretend to deny that. Game is like 75-80% grinding with just a little story and content mixed in with the grind. And again, it's partially because of this game being my introduction to RPGs back then that I don't mind grinding. It gets a little tedious at times, yes, but that's when I either move on with the game or put the game down for a while and do other things. Come back to it later. Anyways, due west or left from that cave I went through in the dark earlier, talking about how many times I played the game, I memorized my way through that. Straight left from there is this, which is another reason why I remember the way through that cave. Every time you die in the final dungeon, you start back at Tantagel Castle and have to walk all the way around, down through that cave again and back over this way, and yeah. Walked through that cave so many times, even by the end of my first playthrough, I pretty much had the way through that memorized, to say nothing of all the replays of the game later. Now, as far as low-level challenges go, I've seen people be able to at least get to the item that's found here at level 12 or 13. Granted, they run from a lot of the enemies at those levels, which is understandable given that this is the final area of the game. Enemies are going to be brutal here if you're not prepared for it. But again, as far as defeating the final boss, that, unless somebody can visually prove me wrong, I will strongly protest the idea that it is possible to beat the final boss any lower than level 17 with the Heal More spell you learn at that level. And again, I'm not talking, I mean, if it works for you, to each their own, blah, blah, blah. But when I say this, in this case, I'm not talking about manipulation, exploits, cheats, whatever you want to sugarcoat it. No, I'm not talking about any of that stuff. Fair, legit, as intended by the designers. No cheap RNG or LNG exploits or whatever the frick you want to call it. Yeah, without any of that, I don't think it's possible to defeat the final boss without the heal more spell. He does more damage than you can begin to heal with your level 1 heal spell. Things like sleep spell will not work. Anyway, Sharlock Castle as it used to be called. I don't know if that name still exists in the remakes or not. Now again, if you don't have Erdrick's armor yet, these grounds can be very deadly. 15 hit points per step. That and the health recovery, why I would highly suggest having it before coming here, but it isn't necessarily required. But damn helpful, holy crap. Now, this floor I could probably also maneuver through in the dark, not needing the radiant spell, but yeah. Let's just use it anyway. Was gonna say put it on, but yeah. Now, the way through here is rather linear at first, but eventually it's going to branch off into multiple different paths. One is a complete dead end, infinite loop. One leads to the item, and one leads to the Dragon Lord himself. Come on, game. Take that, you. Put you to sleep permanently, dude. Eventually we'll start seeing enemies exclusive to this final dungeon, which are usually, or for the most part, just graphic sprite palette swap, whatever the technical terminology for that is. Slight recoloring of previous enemies graphically, like the gold man becomes the stone man, or the green dragon becomes the blue dragon, and later even still the red dragon. Okay, coward. Goodbye, Yuga. What? You didn't die, Yuga? There, now you did. By the way, for those who didn't get that reference, Yuga. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The final boss of the Zelda game for the 3DS Link Between Worlds. Won't say any more than that, just watch some of the early cutscene sequences in that game and you'll get what I'm talking about. Kicking, yeah. When already, yeah. Sorry, trying not to spoil too much here for anybody who hasn't played that game yet. Anyways, there's the weapon there. Would you go away? Tired of seeing. Really, dude? Thou art a coward. Die, coward. Yeah, see what I mean about the radiant spell slowly losing its power? Can be a little annoying, but oh well. The blue dragon still looks green, not really blue, but oh well. Slightly stronger green dragon. Again, at lower levels or with less equipment, I suppose it can be more devastating, but don't want to go that way. Alright, this is the floor where the path breaks. Alright, I think it's... Well, I could have saw this guy outside in the area around Canton, the town where I bought the last sword and shield upgrade. I just never did out there. The wizard. You have the magician, the warlock, and now the wizard in that class. I think this is the path that, yeah, this is the path that leads back up to that chest we passed by earlier. Oh yeah, that's right, Erdrick's sword. And that's it. Got the strongest sword, armor, and shield in the game. Not quite maxed out on experience. There's 6 more levels. It maxes out at 30 experience. Well, experience level 30 is the maximum. Gold, at least in this version of the game, maxes out at 65,565, something like that, which is the amount of experience points you need for level 30. And anyways, let's see, now for the final boss. Whatever, coward. What's the matter? Not man enough to face me normally? You coward? Some knight you are. Anyway, that other path over there is a looping dead end. Ooh. Hurt more. And yeah, by the way, it is a silly sounding spell name. Hurt more. But, you know, I don't mind. They could call it whatever they want as long as it works the same, you know. Middle finger. Yeah. No, they wouldn't do that. That'd be censorship riddled. But I don't really care what they call the spells as long as they work. Of course, part of that opinion comes from the NES original of the first Final Fantasy game, where in the original, a lot of the spells didn't work. Yeah, it didn't matter what they called them, they didn't work anyway, so who cares? And here you have the kind of opposite of that. They work, but they got kind of goofy names. Heal more, hurt more. Okay. Suddenly realizing I might not have enough MP to do this. Depending on how many rounds the Dragon Lord takes. Once I get to him. Might have to outside and return back to the inn. Try this again on another trip. We'll see. I mean, at this point, I have no need for money anymore. Well, in this game, anyways. I mean, obviously, in real life, I always do. But for the rest of this playthrough, I have no need for money. So if I die and lose half of it, big deal. I already got everything there is to buy. I don't think there's anything of any value in those chests there off to the right. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, no, not about that. Like, I still stand by what I said with those chests. No, what I was saying, wait a minute. Silly me, I just remembered. I bought 6 herbs at the start of practically at the start of the playthrough. Forgot all about them. Okay, that increases my chances. Because now I could just use those for healing. Save the rest of my MP for the final boss battle. Was thinking I was going to have to use heal more one more time. But not necessarily. Don't you start. It is stupid. I mean, no. Sorry, I just had to say that. Really, dude? Just die. Thank you. I mean, we are in the bottom floor of the final dungeon, so yeah, enemies are going to be a little annoying here, as expected. If I wasn't trying to conserve on my MP, I'd stop spell your. Actually, I better not take any undue chances here. Ah, go away. Dude, don't make me kill you. Okay, fine. Have it your way. Dumbass. Really? You're pressing your luck, Buster. Now, don't you wish you just got out of the way when I was willing to let you continue breathing? Dumbass. Sorry, by the way, that was intended as comedy. I'm sorry if it didn't come out as such. I'm not the best comedian after all. Alright. God. Oh, wait. What are you, falling in love? Alright, now. I want to show this, so. Saves. Alright, make sure it's. Yeah, okay. King of Kings? I don't think so. Oh, yeah? Hmm. Should I? Sure, why not? Yep. What are you talking about dying? I'm joining you now, remember? We're like pals now. What? Yeah. Some pal. You have to hit reset. Yeah. Some friend you turned out to be. Haha. Joke attempt there. So yeah, you don't want to do that. Lesson learned the hard way. Granted, I don't think I don't think it actually saves your, it actually saves that. So just hit reset and reload your save file and all that. So I don't think it's any permanent damage, but still just annoying. You make it all the way here, fighting all through all those annoying enemies, and then that happens, and yeah. Anyways, I just had to show that. Most people that are familiar with the game already know about it, but now let's do this the right way. Demonstration's over. What sayest me? No, join you. I'm gonna kick your butt, or at least die trying. Again, I don't know. Yeah, 9 uses of the heal more spell should be suffice. I am at level 24, so. But Dragon Lord has revealed his true form, or true self. Now again, as I was saying, yeah, look at that damage. More damage than your little level 1 heal spell could even heal. You'd be fighting a losing battle. You wouldn't have any time to attack him because you'd be healing every turn. Literally every turn you'd have to heal. So you wouldn't even have time to attack him. Once you ran out of MP, you're dead. And so yeah, not possible without some kind of cheaty manipulation, cheats to beat him without the. And again, I know I'm not. If you want to cheat the game, cheat the game. Who am I to say you can't? I'm just, in terms of legitimate playthrough, you're going to need the heal more spell for this battle. I mean, again, we've all done that, whether it's Game Shark or some manipulation or whatever it is, we've all done that at one point in time. Who are we trying to kid? Myself included. Now, do I want to risk it and be aggressive, try to hit him one more time? Part of me says yes, but just my luck, I do that, and his next attack does like 44 hit points of damage, and I'm screwed, so. Well, what the hell. It's only a game. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I called it. Oh well, like I said, it's only a game. Frustrating, because now I gotta work my way back there again, but oh well. Of course, I'll do that off screen. Actually, what the hell. One more trip through the castle, I guess. Too bad, since I've already been there, I mean, I can see not having it there at the start of the game, but now that I've already been there, too bad there's no bridge or something that you could lower to just quickly walk back there from here. Like hit some button while you're once you make it over there, hit some button on that side to lower a drawbridge or something from. So now you could just walk back there. That would have been convenient, but unfortunately that's asking too much, I guess. Would definitely save time in the return trip back there. And again, this is part of the reason why I have the path through that cave east of here memorized. How many times I died in the final dungeon and had to make this trip back there every time. I pretty much had the layout of that cave memorized by the time I was done with my first complete playthrough, to say nothing of all the playthroughs of the game as the years passed by since then. which also say it's on MP for radiant spells. Alright. If I end up, for some reason, like I did just now, misjudging the situation and thinking, I have 46 hit points, that might be enough. If I end up dying like that again, I will edit out the return trip back there for the third time. Save video time here. Come on, game, I'm not in the mood. Where were all these battles when I was grinding off screen? Seriously, what is it with these RPG games? Call me paranoid, superstitious, or whatever, if you will, but it always seems that right now, when you don't want the battles, that's when they gang up on you. Battle every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds. But it seems like when you're grinding, you actually want the battles. They take forever to happen. Just walking around in circles. Come on, game, I'm waiting. Yeah. It's like the game knows. I mean, I know it's not the case, but it sure seems that way sometimes. Like the game knows whether you want random battles or not, and if you do, well, too bad, you don't get any. And if you don't, well, here, have one. I mean, again, I know that's not the case, but it sure as heck seems like it. See what I mean? One step. By the way, sorry if I'm a little microphone is yelling into your ear, basically put. Apologies. By the way, those 2 stairways you see there, dead ends, worthless waste of time. Possibly ideal grinding spots, I guess you could maybe, but yeah. Don't make me stop spell your rear. Oh shoot, that's right, I should have bought more herbs. I forgot about that, I used them. Oh, that passageway is open still. Not that that matters much, you just search the ground there and there it is. No, not here. Quit wasting MP, dang it. Me? No! Well, that might work. But that's, again, quit wasting MP. What am I doing? Focus. Dang it. Yep, repel spell doesn't work that much, is obvious now. At least not in dungeons. I'll give you hurt more. Take that. How do you like my version of hurt more? Just no magic involved. Just the tip of my sword. Try to get there with a little more MP. Of course, I don't think the MP was, the amount or lack of it was the problem last time. Again, I probably would have been able to win. At least come a little closer to beating Dragon Lord. Had I not been, I think I could survive one more hit. Oops, that's not. Had I not been risky there and just healed up. That's why I'm not blaming the game or cheating or anything like that. It's my fault. Strictly my fault. Should have healed up there instead of trying to attack again. no need to go that other direction this time, since I've got the sword upgrade already. Just go straight to the final boss. Ah, go away. No need to fight you, you sleep spell coward. Again, I guess I should say that a lot of people love their sleep spells in these games. I don't want to sound like I'm implying there's something. No, that's not. Play your games your way, my friend. If you like sleep spells, knock yourself out, figuratively speaking. Don't want to hear it in the comments. Oh, how dare you call me a coward for liking sleep? No, not talking to you. No, if that's the way you play your RPGs, have at it, or whatever. You get the idea. Don't start, game. Talking to the game as if it's going to talk back or something. What the heck is wrong with me? Laugh riot there. Don't start, game. Like the game can even hear me, let alone respond. And dude, you want hurt more? Yeah, but temper. Calm down, me. Dude, you haven't felt hurt more yet. Keep it up. No need to fight anything anymore now. If I can't beat this game at level 24, there's something wrong with me. Well, some people would say there is for the fact that I'm even at level 24 for this. Goodbye! They really need to make a version of the repel spell that works in dungeons. This is ridiculous. Goodbye! Goodbye! You do know the meaning of that word, right? Fine, have it your way. Douchebag. Try to let you live, but no. You had to go think you're badass. Well, now you're a dead dumbass. I hope you're happy with yourself. A little more MP than I did last time. No, of course not. I'm a fool. Haha, we'll see about that. Well, that's it. Game over. Yeah, I already blew that joke. I already made it past that point. Alright, now, this time remember, he can do 48, 50 hit points of damage. Not always, but is possible, so keep that in mind this time around. Again, I might have been able to beat him, or at least come closer to it last time, had I not been overly courageous, or gutsy, or stupid. Alright. Heal more. And be careful to actually select heal more, since hurt more does not work against him, at least not in my experience. No. Actually, what am I thinking? Almost made that mistake again. No. Even if... Yeah, see? 43 hit points left before. Had I said, okay, let's attack, I'd be dead now again, just like last time. No, again, let's play it safe. And that's it. Ball or sphere of light, which I don't know if they say it here, but all the shadows, I guess they do kind of hint at it. All of the shadows or enemies are banished. No more enemies in the world map. No more random battles every 10 seconds. No, the obvious idea here is to return to Tendagel Castle and talk to the king and witness the game's ending. But, let's go talk to some people, see what they have to say. We just saved their world, their land. Yep. That's all they say. Pretty much, yeah. Maybe a couple different lines, but yeah. They don't have a whole lot to say, just, you brought us peace or hooray. So let's just go. Hello. The legends set forth in another game in the series have proven true. Thought carefully before answering. I cannot. Okay. And this is what I was hinting at earlier. If you didn't rescue Princess Gwaelin from the Green Dragon earlier, wonder how different it makes this. I mean, I don't know. I've never played through the game without having done that, so I wouldn't know how different it may make this whole scenario here. Yeah, but thou must. Of course, the sequel, Dragon Warrior 2, picks up from here 100 years later with the descendants of this couple here and their descendants. Few generations passed, over 100 years. But anyways, that's it. Really bargain basement as far as games today goes. I can see people used to like Dragon Quest 11 or any other modern day RPG going back and playing this game and being a little, yeah, this game is very, very primitive, very basic. But, it is the so-called quote-unquote godfather of the JRPG. The game that started it all, or at least one of them. And it's been rumored many times that this game was heavily inspirational to the other half of today's Square Enix, Square themselves, when developing their flagship, or one of their flagship RPG franchises, Final Fantasy. It's been said they drew inspiration from this game for that. So it definitely earns its place in history, despite being rather short and simplistic. when compared to games today. But again, like I said before, keeping in mind this was 1986 in Japan, 1989 in America. I mean, most games were rather simple by today's standards, at least in terms of content. Maybe not gameplay. You had Battletoads and Ninja Gaiden that definitely were not simple gameplay standards wise, but as far as story and content, yeah. Games back then didn't have a whole lot compared to games today. But as for me personally, it was my introduction to RPGs. And again, make no mistake about it, I can't. As much as I love this original version of the game, I can't, with a clear conscience, so to speak, recommend this to a new fan. I would, if you really want to see the series origins, and if you really have patience for mega amounts of grinding, then yeah. But if you want a more casual, more enjoyable playthrough, I would recommend the Switch version of the game, mobile, mobile, whatever. That version of the game where enemies give you more gold and experience, drastically minimize grinding time, and a few other modern quality of life upgrades like not so menu based. You don't have to go to the menu to select stairs or talk or open doors. Just press the A button yeah. But again, if you are nostalgic or just want to see the series roots, anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching and